When I was younger, it was impossible for me to miss out on a day of Cartoon Network's Toonami, Rurouni Kenshin, Hikaru no Go, IGPX, oh my god, Outlaw Star, and like so many more. Whatever they suggested I watched without question. And it was on the March of 2006 that Toonami premiered A Month of Miyazaki. So every Saturday for the rest of the month, Toonami and Ghibli would introduce me to unique stories beyond my imagination. Music I could never forget, and storylines comparable to lucid dreams. I can still remember and appreciate its beauty even a decade later, but why does that seem so special to me and so many others? I mean, I don't want it to be nostalgic. Nostalgia can hold so many back from new experiences. And after some digging, I feel like I can personally explain what it means to me and what makes Miyazaki films exceptional not only to me, but maybe to you. So, a good way to start would be to break down why Ghibli's style is unique. Their narratives don't follow any clear direction toward its end. Rather than emulate a fairy tale in traditional storytelling where every scene has its purpose, these films focus on immersing its viewers in worlds that don't exist. A bullet can turn an animal into a demon. Forgetting your name can diminish your ability to go home. Pirates searching for an ancient city hiding among the clouds. Things like these don't make sense, but you never found yourself asking, how does that even work? Concepts like these are usually explained in depth in your typical show, instead of just showing you through visuals. Like, say you are a young woman who lost her way home and is now stuck working for a bathhouse in a spirit world. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but most stories would focus solely on getting you back home until you or somebody else, got you there. But how do you survive until then? You have nowhere to go, so you need to start working there for food. Where do you sleep? What kind of creatures come there at night? Where do you go to be alone in a place so alienating? Taking the time to add these details are what made it easy to believe the world this character lives in. It's what grounds you. The attention to storytelling through your environment is how you get your viewer to understand where they are. And it's what kept my suspension of disbelief intact. Like I wasn't following a script, plot, or typical story. I drifted along the current of a world I knew didn't exist, but remained convinced it could. One of the ways is how Miyazaki makes these movies to begin with. So first and foremost, Miyazaki doesn't write scripts. He draws storyboards instead, so the story of the movie is entirely dependent on these, leaving the direction of the film up in the air, and the path the animation takes is completely up to his feelings. Even he doesn't know what his ending might be. The Wind Rises, the original finale, had the possibility of ending completely different. And the difference was just a simple line change. I think it goes without saying that Jiro didn't join his wife after her death and chose to carry on living instead was a good decision. But seeing how close it was to turning into something else entirely is scary. The process is also explained in the movie, the documentary called Kingdoms of Dreams and Madness. Very apropos. The process lends more to the imagination. Beautiful set pieces artfully blended together to create a story generated directly from an artist's feelings. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for him. Another thing that I enjoy is the emotion. One of my favorite examples is Ashitaka from Princess Mononoke. Banished from his home after becoming possessed by a demon, Ashitaka searches in the land for a cure. His emotions affect the demon's influence on his body, and keeping them under his control keeps it at bay. That said, Ashitaka's problems trouble him greatly, forcing him to give in to moments of anger when the only people that can help him are causing him trouble or causing trouble for others. Sometimes it's his own demonic arm attempting to take someone's life. Other times, it can be as subtle as his hair on his head rising out of fury. His face remains stoic, but a simple change in his hackles rising alters his disposition to reserved rage. Sometimes it's the lack of emotion that does it too. General anime goes full tilt with emotion, so watching subtlety in Japanese animation is rare. With Ghibli, characters don't usually express themselves unless their personality requires it. I felt this was done to make certain characters feel unpredictable. A really good example of this would be the forest spirit in Princess Mononoke. It's always been a peaceful yet ominous creature, and his movements are gentle, but his face always stuck in the same state of an eerie smile. So when the leader of the Iron Village kills the spirit, its reaction is completely outside of what you expect, especially when it turns violent and just destroys its very home. What I appreciate in Studio Ghibli films is that, like most of its work, there is a balance that must be maintained throughout. Most of these characters aren't good or bad. It's his key to success for his films. Others strive for singular goals like romance, comedy, or action, but these are singular genres in a storytelling that paint a smaller picture. A Studio Ghibli movie plays out like a series of moments, held together by philosophical lessons and beliefs that are well worth learning. That, and the other man whose music glues it all together. Anyway, that's it. I'm Kidfaiz from Otaku Nexus. See you next video. Don't forget to subscribe.